Police say it's being treated as anti-Muslim hate crime, but not terrorism. And that's a fair conclusion so far?
Well, I think it's too early to speculate about the circumstances of what happened. But one thing is very clear. We live in an environment where Islamophobia has become rampant, where it is, people have got free license to demonize and attack our faith, our way we practice, the way we live our lives, the way we interact with wider society. And that label has stuck upon our community unfairly. And there are people even today, as we deal with the consequences of what happened last night, still denying that Muslims are being subjected to hatred and violence, as we saw last night. I personally, if you deliberately target innocent people and you are involved in anti-Muslim hatred, then the terminology is very, very important. And I just hope that the people are caught and brought to justice.
One report suggesting the police are behaving in an indifferent way over this. Is that fair?
Well, I would strongly argue that if this was the other way around, if this was a Muslim, and we had a case a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, the Sudanese man who drove a car into Westminster, and we saw the blanket media coverage of that particular case, speculation upon speculation. Yet today, apart from yourself, it's been very quiet on the news cycle. And I think when Muslims see that, when they see that our mosque and Muslim people are attacked deliberately and injured, that it doesn't get the same coverage and the condemnation that we see. I'm really glad tonight.
Is that because it's been maybe declassified or perhaps stated as not a terror incident? After all, yes, an appalling hate crime, and reports saying the car's occupants were allegedly drinking and taking drugs. They were asked to leave. So more of a bad-tempered argument than actually a planned terror attack.
Yeah, look, I think, as I said, we've got to wait and see what the evidence suggests, if there are any links to far-right extremism. But on the whole, I think when Muslims are attacked in such a open and physical way, where car is driven towards them, as we heard from that witness just a few moments ago, then that is a deeply worrying time. And the very fact it's taken over 12 hours for any government minister to speak out. We heard the Community Secretary, James Brockenshire, speak in the last few hours, suggests that Muslims feel under siege. We feel as if, as well as our faith and our community be under attack, we're now seeing an increase in physical attacks against mosques and individual Muslims, and that's something that should worry all of us.
Worry all of us, and what should be done? What's your suggestion? It's obviously the Muslim community playing its part, along with the police and the government?
Absolutely.
But how? Because it's still happening, so it's simply not working, is it?
Well, firstly, we've got to stop the rampant Islamophobia within our society, within our media and our politics. You on Russia Today are an exception to that. But I think on the whole, you'll see commentators and politicians, right-wing politicians, perpetuate the nastiness towards the Muslim community. That needs to stop. And the Muslim community needs to stand up and be counted when it comes to bring communities together, tackle the stooge of terrorism from within our midst, and link up with other communities, other faiths. An attack against any place of worship should be an attack against the whole of society, and I hope the rest of British society stands up and be counted.